We have a real issue in our culture when it comes to our relationship with money. And we need to really sort of reflect on where all that's coming from. We need to unpack that. We need to be honest and be willing to own up to some of the stuff that we've learned that may not be healthy for us, right? So, this is a very simple way of thinking it. If all that we are, who we are, and our lives are truly under the Lordship of Christ, then why is money any different? What is it that's preventing us from talking more about money in healthy ways? So, in churches, this has been my experience, and Baptists are like totally, I'm not Southern Baptist, just so Baptists. We are notorious for only talking about money when there is a crisis. So I only hear about money when the church needs money. When we don't meet budget or, it's always in that business meeting and everyone dreads it. So imagine if you are in a church where you only hear about people talk about money when there is a crisis. How does that form us? We all have experienced both the good and the bad when it comes to theology of money. Each of us, whether we know it kind of, or whether we still really haven't thought about it, each of us we've developed some sort of theology around money. And even in our churches, each of your church, whether you have been deliberate about the formation of a theology around money or you have not, each of your church already has some sort of culture around how they think and view money. And that's really important, right? To know that. It's not just like some people have it, some people don't. All of us have developed some views around money. And there is also on your congregational level, your congregation has developed some sort of culture and a theology around money. And these theologies are often both spoken and unspoken. So you don't always hear it, but you might see it, you might feel it. It's there. Some of them are easily seen and heard in the corners of our conversations within the church, and sometimes they are assumed, right? A spoken theology is, for example, if you've grown up in church, you've heard about tithing, right? And you perhaps have heard the idea of tithing at 10% of your income. That is often a spoken theology that many of us have heard within our church and family context. Another example of a spoken theology is the idea of giving to missions, for example. So the unspoken theologies that are often at play, for example, are my money is none of your business. It's between me and God. And we often interpret that as we need to be very careful about speaking about money, or we stay silent about money. So we all know that these theologies that are created within our context can be both positive and negative. So what I hope is that we can lean into this and look at the theologies that have developed within ourselves and our churches.